Have you ever wondered why Jesus started some of his parables with the phrase, "The kingdom of the heavens was likened to"? This is a fascinating detail that unlocks a deeper understanding of his teachings. In Matthew chapter 13, verse 24, Jesus says, "The kingdom of the heavens was likened to a man sowing good seed in his field." This is the second parable in the chapter, and it's no accident that this specific wording starts here. You see, the first parable, the parable of the sower, was about the preliminary work for the kingdom. The kingdom itself hadn't been fully established yet. But by the time we get to the second parable, things have changed. The kingdom of the heavens began to be established when the church was built, as promised in Matthew 16, starting on the day of Pentecost. It was from that moment, after the church was founded, that the reality of this second parable started to unfold. This is when the tares, the false believers, began to be sown among the wheat, the true believers. So, when Jesus says the kingdom is likened to a man sowing good seed, he's describing the state of his kingdom as it now exists in the world. Now, let's look closer at the seed. In the first parable, the seed is clearly identified as the word of the kingdom. But in this second parable, there's a beautiful development. The seed has grown into the sons of the kingdom. This means the word, which contains Christ as life, has been sown into our hearts and has grown, transforming us into the people of the kingdom. So, the good seed, the wheat, represents the true believers, those who have been regenerated with the divine life of God. But then, verse 25 introduces a problem. It says, "But while the men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares amidst the wheat and went away." The men are the Lord's servants, like the apostles. Their sleeping signifies a lack of watchfulness. And in that moment of inattention, the enemy, the devil, came and secretly sowed false believers right in the middle of the true ones. What exactly are tares? A tare is a type of weed, a darnel, that looks almost identical to wheat when it first sprouts. You can't tell them apart just by looking at the leaves or the stalk. The seeds of this weed are actually poisonous, causing serious illness. The only way to truly distinguish the wheat from the tares is to wait until they bear fruit. The fruit of the wheat is golden yellow, full of life and nourishment. The fruit of the tares, however, is black, a sign of its poisonous and lifeless nature. This brings us to a significant point about the kingdom. In the Old Testament, God's people, Israel, were often compared to a vineyard. A vineyard is fenced in, a specific, limited place for a specific people. But in the New Testament, the kingdom is likened to a field. A field is open, vast, and worldwide. It's not limited to one group of people. It's open to everyone. This parable reveals a crucial change that happened not long after the church was established. The kingdom started with pure wheat, the sons of the kingdom. But soon, the tares, the sons of the evil one, were introduced, growing alongside them. This created a distinction between the true inner reality of the kingdom of heaven, which is composed only of the wheats and its outward appearance, which includes both wheat and tares. This mixed outward appearance is what we often refer to today as Christendom. So, the wheat are the genuine sons of God, believers who possess his divine life. The tares are the false believers, people who might look the part, who might even call themselves Christians, but who lack that inner divine life. They are believers in name only. As the parable continues, the owner's servants notice the tares and ask if they should go and pull them out. The owner's response is very important. He says, "No, lest while gathering the tares you may root up the wheat at the same time with them." This is a profound instruction. Both the wheat and the tares are growing together in the field. And verse 38 tells us plainly, the field is the world. This is a key point that is often misunderstood. Many have mistakenly interpreted the field to be the church, but the Lord is clear. The field is the world. The true and false believers live together in the world. So, when the owner says not to pull up the tares, he means we should not try to violently remove false believers from the world. Why? Because we might accidentally harm the true believers in the process. History, SETI, gives us terrible examples of this. The Catholic Church, during the Inquisition, for example, tried to root out what it considered heresy, and ended up persecuting and killing countless true believers. The Lord's instruction is not about tolerating sin or falseness within the church, The Bible is very clear about that. In 1 Corinthians chapter 5, the Apostle Paul instructs the church to remove a person who is living in unrepentant sin from their fellowship. If even a true believer who is sinning must be disciplined and put out of the church, how much more should the church not tolerate false believers who do and have goddess life at all? The church is meant to be a place of purity, but the world is the place where both the wheat and the tears are allowed to grow together until the harvest. Our job is not to be the judge and jury of who is real and who is fake in the world. That is a task the Lord reserves for himself and his angels at the end of the age. Our focus should be on our own growth, on bearing good, golden fruit, and on maintaining the purity of the church according to the Word of God. We live in the world, the big field, but we must remember that the church is God's house, and it should reflect His holiness. This parable gives us wisdom and patience. It helps us understand the complex reality of the world we live in, where good and evil, truth and deception, grow side by side. It calls us not to a passive acceptance of evil, but to a discerning watchfulness, focusing on our own fruit and trusting the Lord of the harvest to do the final separation. Thank you for watching. If this message resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights into the Word. See you next time.